Hi there, it's me again. So welcome to my new video, and today I want to share with you some tips on how to choose the right RV for you. As you remember, if you watched all my videos, some years ago I had a camper van, a Volkswagen T4 from Remo, and also a motorhome for transit motorhome by Riviera. So based on my experience, I'd like to give you some tips if you are intentioning to buy an RV for holidays or for van life full time. So stay with me and let's check some tips for this. First of all, you have to consider the length of your RV. Why? Because it depends on the length. If you are gonna be able to park in a regular car spot in everywhere, or if you must go look for a motorhome parking or a campsite. Often, if you have an RV up to 6 meters long, you can easily park it in a regular car spot everywhere. But if you have an RV over 6 meters long, it will be harder to park there. So you will have to look for motorhomes parking or a campsite that are, at least here in Europe, often outside the city centers. That means that you have to find a way to, of transportation to go to the city centers for buying groceries or to visit the attractions that you want to visit. So you have to have a bike or a motorcycle or catch some public transportation to get you to the city center. That means that you're gonna spend more time and more money on your trip. Then you may also consider the age of your RV, because if you have a camper van like those with a rooftop that closes and opens when you want it to, you can easily park in an underground parking. But if you have a regular camper van or motorhome, you won't be able to park in underground parkings because your height will be over 3 meters. Then you have to consider the amount of people that you want to travel and sleep in the RV. Be aware that if you buy a second-hand RV with some years, sometimes this number isn't the same. For instance, you got 5 places with seat belts that allows you to travel with 5 people, but then you may have only 4 berths, 4 places to sleep. And of course, the more people you want to fit traveling or sleeping on the RV, often the bigger will be the RV. But you can also have to choose the kind of berth that you want, meaning you can have a fixed bed or no fixed bed. That will, if you can play with these options, you can sometimes fit 5 or 6 people under a small space. That means that most of the times fixed beds that the bed is always made ready for you to go to sleep, Most of the times those kind of beds are located in the rear of the RV. If they are made on the length of the RV, that will make the RV much more longer. But if they are made on the width of the RV, if you are under 2 meters height, that will make the RV a little bit shorter in comparison. Often having a fixed bed on the rear of the RV, whether it's on its length side or its width, will be the worst option if you want to go for a short, more small RV. But you have other options. You can have a fixed bed over the cabin. It's called cappuccino. It enlarges your height, but never your length. So you can have a fixed bed over the cabin, cappuccino. You can have also a fixed bed that comes from the ceiling, that's always made ready to go, and you just pull it when you want to go to bed. You can also have bunk beds to use your height and not your length or width. But if you really want to go for a small or the smallest kind of RV, you then must choose an RV that you make your bed every day. Often the beds are made from the table that goes down, and there's some structure to make the bed with the structure of the table and the side chairs. And if you are going for a week, a weekend, or even a month, and you may not be bothered with the thing that you have to make your bed every day, I think that if you are going for a longer trip than a month, or if you are doing van life full time, it at a certain point will bother you a lot to have to make your bed each time you want to go to sleep. So in those cases, I will advise you to choose a fixed bed with the features that I told you before. So let's talk power system. If you have a small RV, often you will have only one battery. The battery from the car system will be the battery that allows you to plug in electric appliances and turn on the lights, etc. on the rear, on the house system. So be aware if you have lots of electric appliances, you must always have a transformer, of course, a jackery, how the Americans say it, to transform the 12 volts into 110 or 220 volts for you to be able to charge your phone, your laptop, or put grilled or what else. In this case, you can also buy some solar panels and increase the amount of energy that you can have on your RV. That will allow you to have several electric appliances without running out of battery, like once happened to me. In most of medium or bigger size camper vans and motorhomes, There are several batteries, often one for the car engine and the others, or even solar panels, to the rear house compartment. So you won't have that much problem of running out of battery of energy for your living things. Of course, the more energy you have, the more electric appliances that you can have on your living area. For instance, for a small or medium-sized camper van or motorhome, you can have a stove and a fridge and even sometimes a heater. But if you want a microwave, air conditioner, or an oven, for instance, you may have more than 2 batteries and sometimes even solar panels. So you must think of this when you choose your RV. As it concerns the water system, in smaller camper vans or RVs, you often don't have a full toilet, so the water system is very simple, often with jerry cans, 1 or 2 for clean water, and then 1 or 2 for dirty water, the gray water. The jerry can water system is very useful when you have to find water without paying it, or without any devices to pull off the water on or off your camper van. You can always find free water in public fountains or everywhere without paying. In bigger camper vans or in motorhomes with often a full bathroom, you will find a different system of water. You will have a clear water tank underneath the house and a grey water tank that allows you to expel the water from the sink in the kitchen, from washing your dishes, and from the shower in the bathroom. The clear and dirty water tanks allows you to carry more quantity of water than the jerry can system, but you will have to have a hose to fill out your clear water tank and some kind of device to expel and put off all your dirty water. And of course, these two actions will be better done in a camping site or in a motorhome parking. Some extra tips will be, for instance, if you got a camper van or a motorhome over 5.5 meters long, you should have a rear camera to do your driving. It will become a lot easier to drive. Then if you have a small and narrow camper van, a simple and the most smallest one, you can go everywhere. You can be at the center city, you can go up and down mountains in narrow streets. If you have a bigger camper van, sometimes you can't reach some places. Whatever size of RV that you buy, I think it will be very useful to have a GPS. It will save you time by not being lost that easily, and know always where you are. If you are like me, you will also bring a paper map to guide you on. Because sometimes GPS also fails. So bet on double GPS. one on paper, one electronic. And of course, in a smaller camper van, you gotta be minimalist and sometimes even extreme minimalist in your way of living. And in another camper van that's bigger, you may have the ability to have more clothes or more kitchen appliances, etc. Finally, if you are not rich like me, I'm not rich, I can afford an 80,000 euros new motorhome or camper van. So you have to find, and you can always find really good second-hand camper vans or motorhome. My experience with a camper van and a motorhome about 20 years old was very good. In those cases, if you buy a second-hand RV, and if you see the odometer marking 200,000 kilometers, for instance, or more, just don't be surprised. Having that amount of kilometers done is common in RVs. It will be not common in a simple car. If you buy a car, you will be looking for the less kilometers done, but in an RV, in a second-hand RV, it will be common to have 200,000 kilometers or more. So don't avoid to buy that camper van because of that, okay? Well, that's all for today. If you have any doubts or if you want to share any tips about this subject, please comment down below. If you like my content and you want to make me happy, please share it, like, and subscribe. Thanks for being here. Thank you for watching, and until next time.